So while you were absent today, we did a lab looking at the effects of exercise on cellular respiration, how it affects your carbon dioxide output, as well as your breathing rates and your heart rates. So we kind of went through this reading. We answered some pre-lab questions together. We talked about the reactants and products of cellular respiration, reviewed glycolysis, Krebs cycles, and electron transport, and then we jumped into the lab. So we had groups of 4. One person did the demo of how to blow into the BTB. We got our averages. We took breathing rates and heart rates today as well. If you are absent and you're printing this off of Schoology, please know that I typoed and I'm so sorry. This is supposed to be table 3, measuring heartbeats per minute. So this is my data table. This is what I got. So after we got our partners information, we went around to other groups and we got their information as well and filled it in there. When you're getting your averages, you can completely skip this line right here, these boxes, and we're really only focusing on this one right here. So you're going to average across to get our total averages, and this is what we are going to use for our graph. So I did kind of a quick look at graph for you. So modeling what it would kind of look like. We are actually making a bar graph. I know that's so shocking today, but we're bar graphing because we're comparing the rates of different activities. We know that graphs have tails, so my title, effects of exercise on CO2 output, breathing, and heart rate. A stands for axes. My axes are labeled. Over here we're looking at time in seconds, breaths per minute, and beats per minute. Down here we're looking at our states of exercise with whether we were resting after 1 minute and after 2 minutes. My intervals, I probably could have done a little bit of a better job because I had a little bit of room over here, but just know that your intervals is how are you spacing. Depending on where your numbers went in your data will depend on the intervals over here on this axis. My highest number was 137.5, so I only had to go to 140, so I spaced it out by tens. I have a legend up here to tell me kind of what each of these bars represent. So I use this teal for my BTB change, blue for breaths per minute, and then red for beats per minute. You can use whatever colors that you would like to use. So then my resting, I took all of my resting information for my so when I was at rest, we kind of totaled up these averages. So it took the group approximately 10 seconds and 22 to do this color change. So over here, my resting value, I kind of picked where 10:22 would be, and I made my bar there. So I did the same thing. I went back to my breathing rate. I got my averages across. 15.67 was my average breathing rate at rest. I graphed that over here. And then I did the same for my heart rate. Average heart rate for the group was 65.42, and I again graphed that. I then did the same exact kind of process over the next 2 sets of data for 1 minute and 2 minutes. What you should hopefully notice is a trend going down for your carbon dioxide or your BTB change, time it took to change, and what should be going up is your respiration rate as well as your beats per minute. If you have any questions about the graph or the lab, please let me know and message me on Remind. Make sure that we're studying tonight. Test is going to cover pages 17 to 36 in your notebook. That would be the right-hand pages. I'm not going to test you over left-hand pages. So if you have any questions, message me. I'd love to talk about them. This graph and your analysis questions on the back are going to be due by Friday. And that was what you missed today. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.